usual review of where we were last week and where we will be going this week in Business 411. Seems as everybody is engaging with the course and the materials very well. This is really gratifying to me because we really wondered how we were going to do when we replaced almost everything that was in there. Keeping some of the best stuff, but really looking for more engaging pieces of material and trying to get it to a place where we could still keep the relevance to the whole subject matter, strategy and strategic management, but also getting things that we could be interested in and that maybe we could take beyond the textbook. And that's why the emphasis this week on the five forces model. And notice I didn't say we updated things, I just said we tried to get things that were engaging. Because Porter's work has been around for a long, long time. He first wrote the five forces, I believe, in the late 70s, early 80s, and has been refining these concepts ever since. And I've always found it very useful when looking at the strategic process to look at the big picture items like Michael Porter does. And in your discussions, many of you have addressed the whole issue of, well, we talked about internal and external factors, and many of you addressed how, you can't separate the two. One affects the other so directly. Do you do what you do because it's what you can do, or it's because what your environment is forcing you to do? Then what resources do you acquire? What resources do you divest? How do you decide to fit them all together? And as we move forward, we're going to be working more and more with those ideas. One of the things I've often said to clients over the years when I was doing strategic planning consulting is, in some respects, the whole strategy process can be boiled down to very, very simple questions that have some really tough answers, but there's four of them, and they come out to be, what do you want? Why do you want it? Why don't we have it yet? And what are we willing to do to get it? And if you are an organization or an individual, if you can answer those four questions and all the sub-questions that they involve, then you've got a chance of putting together a pretty good strategic plan. So that's where we're going with the five forces models, the internal and external analysis, all the stuff you started to see this week. And I just want to say how much I appreciated the work that people have done in the discussion board. The discussion board has taken off and is working exactly like I'd wanted it to. So that's very, very satisfying, at least for the development of the course to this stage. You also had your first shot at working with the Baldrige principles in sort of a formal way. And as I said earlier, this is to let us take a chance towards the end of our program here to see how these principles fit together with everything what we've learned, everything that we're trying to do in this course, and give us a chance to remind ourselves that this is what the school is built around, this is what we're trying to do. How do we see these in action? So that we understand that they're kind of a living document. There's just not some things that are written down 30 years ago and then we've forgotten about it. Kind of like Porter and kind of like the classic strategic planning models. So we'll look forward to reading those little short pieces with a lot of interest. This week we're going to move forward still, staying in the strategic planning area. And you'll notice the discussion is about being on the edge. Well, what do I mean by being on the edge? A company like Walmart. Let's take Walmart. A lot of you mentioned Walmart last week, and the readings and everything does make reference to that. But if you look at Walmart, you say, we think of Walmart as, well, being on the edge. Well, what do I mean by that? Walmart, if you are in the retailing business, you have to worry about them. Whatever they do affects you, right? At their end of the market, they are the big dog. You have to respond to them. They're sort of on the edge because they dictate what the market will do. If you're familiar at the other end of the retailing spectrum, a company like, say, a Nordstrom, if you're looking at a large retailer, no, they're not a Walmart. They're on the edge in another way where they look at quality and they look at exclusivity. Okay, and companies in that end of the market they have to respond to what they do. That's what I'm talking about being on the edge. How far out do you need to be? Do you have to be on the leading edge where you're breaking new ground all the time? Do you have to be just behind the edge where maybe you're following somebody? You know, because there is a saying that the second mouse always gets the cheese. And it's kind of a gruesome thought, but it is true. So that's what I mean by working within that concept, the edge. Where do you think your company needs to be? How risky do you want to be? How innovative do you want to be? How do you fit all those factors together? We're also going to be venturing into a little different thing that we've never done before, is having what we're calling these breakout sessions. Going into your small group, working there and going into a specific discussion, looking at progress towards the end goal of the main project. And I hope everybody's had a chance to read the main project case by now. And we had a couple little glitches earlier in the week. Haven't heard from anybody since then. The groups have been populated and they should be working. So if there are any problems getting into your group, if you haven't gotten into your group, do so at once, because good heavens, a quarter of the course is gone already. Seems like it just started, and when doing a project of this nature, we know how it can build up and then come to a rush at the end, and that's not going to lead to the result I think that we want. So please keep going the way you're going. I think it's a fantastic start. I think the analysis, the depth of the analysis I read in the discussion board is excellent. I will try to get things a little sooner this week, both the written work and the discussion board. Last week was commencement week at Post, and also finals week on campus. And as you can imagine, the combination of on-campus final exams, then leading into all the activities with the university commencement, it gets to be a pretty wild week. This week, trust me, I believe it's going to be a lot calmer, and I should be able to get to things a little faster. And I hope I answered your questions in a satisfactory fashion. As I keep saying, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. And we want to make sure that this thing is working right, and this thing being the new Business 411 course. And it seems to be going well from my perspective. I hope you're getting out of it what you thought, what you need, and I'm interested in your comments as well. So don't wait till the end of the course while there's still time to fix something. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. I will be, as I said, hoping to get the discussion grades and the Baldrige grades done by midweek at the latest, and get to me with any questions. Okay, things are going great. Let's keep it up. Thanks again.